Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is TBR Schmidt, and this is my wife Samantha.
Hello.
And today we are watching episode 4 of The Pacific. What'd you think of last episode?
I loved the last episode. It kind of gave us something different than the first 2 episodes that we saw. I have a feeling that maybe is a one-off and we're not really going to see anything like that, but I liked the focus on the war just kind of from the civilian perspective.
Yeah.
You know, I think when you think of war and we see the war movies, at least we've seen on the channel, it's just very much combat driven. And I feel like that was interesting to watch it and see a different perspective than what we've seen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even with Band of Brothers, we never really left Europe.
No, besides the training in the beginning, but still, you're in training.
Right. This was, just kind of normal lives, and also following, like you said, the civilian lives of some of the Australians whose lives were impacted from the Marines being there for about a year.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely a very interesting episode. Still somehow managed to be dark.
Yeah.
Even though there was no combat or anything, it was still dark. Like there was still a lot of like tragic things that happened, primarily to Lecky. I'm interested to see how that kind of like plays out for him.
Yeah, we'll have to see where Lecky ends up. Hopefully we'll be seeing Eugene here shortly too.
Yeah, I assume Eugene, and maybe we'll still be removed from the war with John. He's back in America. I don't know if we're just done with his character.
Yeah, or if we follow.
Yeah, if we'll follow him, or I don't know. I don't know how that works, whether he just stays in America or he comes back eventually.
Right.
So a lot of stuff to look forward to,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of questions to be answered.
Yeah.
So if you would like to see the full-length reaction to this, as well as everything else that we've reacted to, the link to our Patreon is in the description. If you would like to interact with us on Twitch, Instagram, or Twitter, all of those links are in the description as well. And with that, let's get into the episode.
One of the most brutal physical environments the Marines would face in the entire Pacific War.
I thought the environment of Guadalcanal was bad.
The invasion began December 26th, 1943.
Day after Christmas.
I've never seen it rain anywhere like it did on Cape Gloucester.
And we wore the same clothes, I think, for at least 3 months.
Wow.
Knee-deep mud. Vehicles could barely move.
A nightmare.
The only place I ever saw Marines morale go to hell.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody was exhausted. You get to the point and you just don't give a damn.
There really is multiple enemies. The Japanese forces and then the island itself.
This is still one of my favorite intros.
Yeah, it really is good.
God damn it, Sledge! 73 1/2, charge 0! Come on! What happened, Sledge? You find out Bob was drilling your girlfriend?
So he's still training in California.
You're Marines now. You're not recruits. Ever think you're gonna fire a short round, you say so. You hear me, Sledge? Yes, Sergeant.
They all look so young.
That's what I was gonna say. These shots.
Merry Christmas to you.
Back to Vera.
We had a hearty Christmas dinner tonight and even sang some carols.
The fake artillery.
Yeah. Just reminded me of the training guys.
Right, yeah.
Well, that's the Marine Corps in a nutshell, isn't it, Lex? Make me an officer and they put you in intelligence.
How's Frenchie? Still can't figure out how the hell a Canadian gets all the way from the ETO to here. Guessing it involved a boat.
I feel like I have to remember they're back on an island, not Australia.
Yeah. Get into that mindset now.
Yeah.
Like that.
Some Jap shrapnel. It must be around here somewhere. You hold back. Bring up the rear.
Tail end, son of a bitch.
But he's still with seemingly everyone. It's just not treated the same as he was.
Yeah.
Oh man. I don't think he can call for backup or anything. He's just got to start shooting. Wow.
Jap Patrol, form. I got them all.
Oof. Snakes.
Oh man, I didn't even see that until the very end.
Want some of this? It's Basically soup. As if we could smoke underwater.
I feel like that's one of the worst feelings, is not being able to get dry.
Right. And this rain is loud too. Like, you can really move around under cover of this rain.
And thunder.
I don't even see him. Wow.
If we get overrun, burn it!
Just stays in the tent.
I mean, still very important, but...
Yeah. This is pure chaos. Oh my gosh, she was like a foot away. Man, seeing everything with the lightning, just little glimpses. That first shot, when all of them just poured out at once.
That was terrifying.
It was a bonsai suicide attack for the rest of these guys. 100 against 1,200. They're either incredibly brave or incredibly stupid.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Also, I'm never comfortable when they're still checking out the bodies.
Yeah, after the first time.
Making sure it's not booby trapped.
Looks important, whatever it is.
Is he getting so close? What? I don't even know what to say to that.
I'll give you just about anything for this.
I don't even want you touching it.
Gibson's okay. He's just tired.
Apparently John Basilone did everything. We all did shit like that.
Wow, comic.
Selling bonds and dicking blondes while you're still here in paradise. Anybody need anything from the bar?
Dry martini?
Well, it's not a real bar.
That rain.
Yeah.
Dear Vera, we haven't seen a Jap for 2 weeks now. Now our enemy is the jungle itself.
Seriously. Oh.
Fuck! You good guy, just fucking shoot me!
It's like mentally destroyed.
Yeah.
Where's my chest?
No way.
I needed to store battalion papers. An enlisted man can't have something like that. Against regulation.
What about the pistol?
What pistol?
Wow.
What a shithead.
Get out of my tent, Mikey.
I'm not in your tent, sir.
Fucking thief.
The tiniest bit of joy.
A live grenade just happens to roll into his tent.
Seriously.
We either kill Larkin or shut the fuck up.
As of immediately, you are no longer in intelligence. Report for cleanup duty in the officer's mess. There's something missing from my tent.
You're punishing me on the suspicion I may have taken something. If it did exist, rightfully belonged to me anyway.
You might want to change your skivvies, Private. It appears you've pissed yourself.
Did he really?
Sounds like aneurysис.
Was there anything you'd give me for it?
Yeah, I don't think he meant to.
Sorry, Lucky, no magic pill.
I'm glad he stood up and got his pistol back, though.
It's not raining today.
Not yet.
You going crazy?
How much time has passed?
I have no idea. Enough time to literally drive them insane.
Yeah.
After the sweats, the chills feel so good. Read to me, Daddy.
It finally stopped raining, only making the smell of rotten coconuts worse. Everyone's sores have gotten worse, along with their dysentery. This island has an exotic name that translated means the death of hope.
Lecky, hot food.
Oh, buddy.
You pee again?
Yeah.
I see your aneurysис is acting up. They got a hospital over on Banika. Hop, skip, and a jump from here. I'm gonna pull some paper and you'll be on your way in and out. Get dry and stay dry. That should do the trick.
Just broken.
Yeah. Hopefully these few weeks help him out.
No razor blades.
What do you want me to do with this?
You scared the living shit out of Rudiger.
Why am I in with guys who need to have their razor blades taken away?
Okay if Rudiger wakes you up every hour or two during the night? Give you a chance to get to the head and stay dry? Don't miss dinner. Pumpkin pie tonight.
Whoa.
Gonna be a whole new man when he gets back.
You ever think about selling this? You get it back when you leave.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I don't think this was overflow.
No.
Where the fuck were you?
Hey, you want to keep it down? People are trying to sleep.
Congratulations. Pass the test. You actually do suffer from enuresis.
You thought I was lying?
Clean sheets, burgers, and the pause that refreshes.
Jeez.
Fuck you. What about Captain Midnight?
I'd say he's just exhausted.
That's your medical opinion. Shit. I could do your job.
I bet you could. You know, most of the guys that come through here are simply tired. My guess is you fall into that category.
Especially after the last place he's been.
They murdered sleep. In Guadalcanal, the Japs would send a bomber in every night. It was mostly just to keep us awake.
Fucking shit! Johnny! Go get Dr. Grant!
Hey, got a smoke?
Gibson. Hey, Bob Lecky.
He's the guy who strangled.
Hey, Lecky.
Wonder how he ended up there.
Your buddy wanted to get up Pavuvu and go home. He attempted to steal a plane to do it. And when they stopped him, he tried to kill himself. This is as bad as my war gets.
Like a sense of guilt.
Yeah.
Everybody's just doing their jobs, though.
Everyone's doing what they can.
I don't know what the war's like.
I'm sure you do. You see it in every guy who comes through here. Nothing against all of you, but I want to get back to my guys before they get sent on without me.
Hang around for, say, another week?
I don't think that'd be healthy for me, Doc. That Jap pistol I brought. You can have it.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah, that does sound crazy.
Why just give it away?
I want to return to my unit and my friends.
I want to get back to the guys before they ship off without me.
I don't think they'll send me back.
You just need a rest. That's all. You'll be all right.
You think so? There was this guy. I didn't know him. His lips on my back as he prayed to God to keep him alive. He believed God would save him. Jesus, I envied him. Thanks for the smokes. There's nothing to do in here but smoke.
It's completely broken.
Hope it's quick and easy for you, Lecky. Jap sniper, maybe. No worries about ending up like me.
Wow. It's better to be killed than have your mind destroyed. I don't really know if he's ready to go back.
I don't think that he is. Especially not after that.
Yeah. All right, that was episode 4 of The Pacific. What'd you think?
Wow. I feel like there was a lot of stuff that we didn't even have like words for.
Yeah.
Throughout the episode. And we just saw just like a wide range of the toll that the war is taking between, you know, we started off in the beginning and you really only saw the Japanese forces for like a tiny fraction of this episode.
Oh, yeah.
And it became solely about the men's internal mental health against themselves, against the weather, against the mud, just everything.
Yeah.
And they were just slowly starting to lose their minds. I mean, we saw them on that island for maybe 20 minutes of that episode, and that was rough to watch. And then you slap some dates on it, and they were there from December to May.
Yeah, just constantly in mud and rain.
Yeah, just wet, just all the time.
I feel like, as weird as it is, when there's Japanese forces there, you know, you kind of switch to that like fight mode.
Mm-hmm.
But they said that they hadn't seen Japanese forces for weeks. So that adrenaline of fighting is gone. You're just there dealing with the monotony of rain hitting you over and over.
Yeah, you don't have anything to focus on, no distractions. It's just you and your thoughts just getting clouded with just rain. And, you know, they started fighting with each other. Obviously, Lecky, you know, his things were stolen.
Yeah.
He stole them back. And then it's just, he also witnessed the other Marine who had taken all of his clothes off and he killed himself.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the Canadian that they were talking about. I don't know, because it sounded like maybe he was speaking French or something. But yeah, we saw multiple mental breakdowns with that one Marine who shot himself. At first, I thought he was just like going a little crazy, like hanging his clothes up to dry. And then obviously it took a turn. And then the main one, Gibson, who, like, I was curious why he was getting so close to a Japanese soldier who was still alive. I thought maybe he was gonna like listen to him or say something. It didn't cross my mind that he was going to choke the life out of him and like watch him die and then smile afterwards.
Yeah, no, from that moment it was very clear that he was not okay.
No.
And then, you know, he's put into this place and he really has no hope left. He knows that he's stuck in there. I mean, he clearly went way over the edge after that, trying to steal a plane.
Yeah, and then kill himself.
Yeah.
Thank gosh he didn't try to harm someone else.
Right.
But yeah, and then, you know, we also saw a little bit of mental break from Lecky, because I don't think that was just purely what I can't pronounce, whatever disease or whatever infection.
Yeah, that he was dealing with his like urinary infection.
So I'm sure it was a combo. Like, he literally did have some sort of medical condition, but also, like the doctor said, I think he was just tired. Like, it was just too much for him.
Well, and how can they not be? I mean, honestly, it's crazy how little of them ended up there.
Right.
You know, they were there for months on end, and it just, the toll that it must have taken on them. Lecky, I don't even know if he would have ended up there had he not had that infection. Because that, I think that was like, you know, kind of the straw that broke the camel's back for him.
Yeah.
That, you know, he wouldn't get up to eat because he clearly had wet himself. If that wasn't the case and he was just slowly kind of, you know, losing his mind, would he have ended up there?
He might have ended up similar to Gibson, which may have kind of lit a fire under his butt to get out of there. I think maybe he saw that hospital as just as dangerous as being on the front lines with his fellow Marines, because I think it's that being alone with your thoughts type of situation where he could just sit there in a nice comfortable bed with burgers and soda and stuff, and the scenarios playing through his mind of what he's been through or what like his fellow Marines are currently going through and what he's missing, and he's not there. It's just whatever the distraction is, you need that distraction to keep you moving forward.
Right. Yeah. And nobody here, at least that he was speaking with, like the doctors, they don't understand what he had gone through over the last, you know, years at this point.
Right. Even the like medical attendant or the Navy, you know, when he kind of like smashed his nose, he was like, this is bad as my war gets. Like, you know, I mean, he's doing his duty, but it's not, he can't have necessarily a conversation with Lecky.
Right.
They're just not experiencing the same things.
No, and like I had kind of touched on during the episode, it's like that guilt. You know, you hear about like survivor's guilt when there's some kind of accident, and this is just like, you know, the guilt of being on this, you know, beautiful island with food, and you're caring for these guys who have been through so much that brought them there.
Yeah.
So
it's like the same guilt of Eugene. You know, he's home and he couldn't go because of a heart murmur. It's not his fault, but he desperately wanted to go. And, you know, we saw him training a little bit. And I think that guilt of if he never did sign up, that would be incredibly damaging to him as well.
Right.
I mean, everyone was going through it on this island.
Yeah.
kind of like you said, like you're surprised that there weren't more of them at that hospital.
But really, I mean, what point do you take them to the hospital? Because really, they're all going through it. Yeah. Like, I don't think that you could say that any of those guys was 100% okay.
No.
So it's really that fine line, I feel like. But, you know, every episode that we've seen so far has just been dark in its own way.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was so important that they did cover this episode and, you know, they went through this. We didn't see a whole lot of combat, but this is so important.
That's a good point. Every episode has felt unique in terms of the tragedy of war that they've shown us. You know, the first episode was, I think, a realization of how gruesome things were going to be once they had their first encounter. Mm-hmm. And then you had the second episode, you know, another realization of this unpredictable, overwhelming force that, you know, required a massive feat by John to hold off, essentially. Mm-hmm. You know, in the third episode, we saw how war impacted the civilian life and being away from it. And now we're getting into the mental damage that this war has taken. And a lot of these Marines, essentially, I feel like had a year in Australia. Mm-hmm. So it's not like they weren't rested going into this. And that's how extreme it is. Like, I like the rain, but I can't imagine being stuck in the rain 24/7 up to my knees in mud. I don't, like, that's just unimaginable situation to be in.
The mental and the physical toll that's taking, just being wet.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah, the Japanese forces didn't even need to be on that island for there to be American losses, because the island was enough.
Yeah.
So, an incredible episode. I mean,
absolutely.
You know, so far, I mean, every episode has been super intense. It's definitely a much different viewing experience than Band of Brothers. Mm-hmm. You know, I think this series has definitely highlighted a lot more of the damage and tragedy of war. Mm-hmm. I don't know where it goes from here. I mean, we didn't, you know, Eugene is still training. We didn't see any of John. We saw him in a comic book, or a comic or something like that. When this episode ended, I still didn't feel like Lucky's like 100% there.
Yeah, and I mean, he probably will never be 100%, but enough to go back, I don't think so either.
Yeah, I don't know. The alternative of having an island that's terrible with the environment is having an island that's better for the environment that's filled with Japanese forces. Mm-hmm. So it's just like there's no positive at all.
No.
So it's a rough watch, but I've been really enjoying it so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really glad we're watching it.
So if you would like to see the full-length reaction to this, as well as everything else that we have reacted to, the link to our Patreon is in the description. If you would like to interact with us on any other types of social media, all of those links are in the description as well. And with that, peace everyone.
Bye.
Bye.